my god! It's a Twin Blades variant. There's a Maelstrom on the backside. Phantom's picking up more kills, finds Andrew as well. It's a triple. Oh, look at Tahaka. Finds the Abathur top lane 6. Great Ring of Frost connecting onto 4 members. We might have a comeback for the ages. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Will they be able to escape? ETC does fall. What a counter attack by ReGen Red, and he's gonna barely get away with his friggin' teleport ability. Holy shit! That was really spicy. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Another season is ready to start. Last night was the opening night, but this is the first night here over on twitch.tv/MurdaRG. Nexus Gaming Series Season 7 is finally upon us. Glad to be your host tonight. I'm Murda, and tonight I am joined by none other than the Division C Grand Champion Captain of ReGen Red, RePsychic. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm well, Murda. How are you?
That's exactly why I brought you on the show.
Sure, of course.
Welcome. And again, we haven't heard from you since that grand finals night a few months ago. How has it been in the off season for RePsychic, and what are you doing with yourself now? You're not playing anymore. What are you up to?
I'm retired. I work on a farm now. I've got a whole slew of animals to tend to. Number one of which is my horse Grover, who I accidentally named Grover. But I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley.
And your new girlfriend Abigail, right?
Yes, we're married now. We have one child together. Yes. Yeah, so it's a lot of responsibility, but that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome. Well, hey, glad to see you back here in the Nexus Gaming Series in a new form. Maybe we get a little more Caster Boy RePsychic this season. I'm excited for that.
Maybe. Who knows?
So to update you guys at home, currently I am waiting for these teams to get all set up. I do know that tonight earlier, Dive Hard played against Almost Legends Ruby in a flex match that they went ahead and played here in week number 1. They took the set 2-0, so we'll be entering this match tonight here against ReGen Phoenix. Technically speaking, first place in the division. That, however, will be on the line tonight up against ReGen Phoenix, a brand new team here for Season 7, but led by some players who've played in NGS before. We got Arrow coming over from your old team, ReGen Red. We also have Arya coming over, the captain from PFM, bringing a few players over from there as well. But, Rek, give me your thoughts early on this team. I know you've gotten to chat with them, and of course you've played with a couple of them in the past as well.
Yeah, for those who didn't already know, I played with Arrow, I played with Murder, both members of, ReGen Red, formerly. I know them both very well. I've met them at BlizzCon, just going again this year. Going to see them again. It's going to be great, yeah. So I do know plenty about them. And from what I understand, they've been doing really well. They've got all sorts of tricks up their sleeve, and I can't wait to see them in person.
Yeah, tonight's really when it starts breaking open for these teams, start to show some of their strategies. Wondering, maybe a little scouting went on earlier tonight with Dive Hard playing a set earlier. We'll see if any bans from that. I don't know if any viewers at home got to tune into that as well, but be sure, hey, if you watch that match and you got some cool points or highlights from that match, throw them in chat. Show some of the other viewers what happened there earlier. I believe it was casted by DB Smiley. I was hoping to catch the end of it, but it was a quick one. It ended pretty early. So here we are with an early start to this second half of their doubleheader. We were set to kick off around 10:30. We are live around 10 o'clock tonight, so 30 minutes ahead of schedule. So it should just be a few moments until these teams get settled into a lobby and we're ready to go with game number 1. What other news? Oh, let's talk NGS. So Season 7 kicking off, a few new rules, including a new ban phase. Both teams will have option to ban out 2 different maps. We've also added in a 10th map, an old NGS map. It's Brax's Holdout re-entering the map pool. Teams will get to ban 2 maps each this season, up from 1 last season. Then everything else will continue same as always from there. Hop in, make the lobby. Loser of that game, number 1, will get the decision of either first pick or having that map pick. So with these 2 bans, do you think we're going to see a bit more fluctuation in standard maps? Do you think there's going to be more scouting opportunities? Rek, as a former captain, how do you think some of the captains might respond to that change this season?
I think, especially in the early stages of the season, you just want to go with what you know. It's the scouting is wonderful, it's great and all, but you also got to stick to your own roots. And if these teams have been looking at, say, this one's good at Infernal, we're going to pick Infernal, and we're going to ban the one we're not good at, or and the opposite is true. Like, we're good at Dragonshire, but we're not good at Alterac, let's ban that. It's just very. I think right now it's mostly for lack of a better term, self-centered, and generally speaking, I think that they're just going to look for themselves mostly. I don't think scouting is too important right now.
Yeah. I know, for example, I've heard from Mongoose plenty about this, and he's like, oh, Braxis is back in the map pool. Oh, we get 2 map bans. He's on team permanent ban Braxis. So I know there's a few others out there, maybe in chat right now. If you hate Braxis too, let us know. I know there's some other people here are going to be offended. Seventh Ace and Ektar here early talking about the Zerg music during my away screen. I have a feeling they also like Braxis Holdout. Myself, I'm actually a fan. I should say, I'm a fan of Braxis Holdout. I'm less so a fan of the change they made to it where you just tap the little beacon and it just shuts down the channel. I'm not a fan of that. I think it should have to push to halfway at least. But I don't know. Either way, it's still a decent map. It should give some flexibility to teams that want to have a quicker map, a map that they can take a hold of early and try to hold on to a lead throughout the game. I think Braxis can be fantastic for teams that want to play that sort of early game strategy.
Oh, for sure. And me personally, I'm like 50-50 on it. I don't particularly love it, but I don't hate it either. I don't know. It's one of my iffy maps. It's always a toss-up for me.
So, Rek, I just got the lobby link if you want to join through me, and I also, chat, just got information on what our bans tonight were. Dive Hard banned out Battlefield of Eternity and Dragonshire. ReGen Phoenix opting to ban out Alterac Pass and Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Excellent.
And our first map, I guess I can tell you that as well, will be Volskaya Foundry. I believe this was chosen by Dive Hard. And also getting one last word that they are waiting on one more player, still AFK from their break, so should just be a few moments, but I assure you we are now moving in the right direction. A lobby has been made.
Subscriber has
Captain has been locked in, and Repsychic, you're here casting with me. You don't have to also be the #1 subscriber of Murda RG's channel, but I appreciate it. 15 months in a row, my man. Congratulations on being the oldest of my family.
No, thank you for giving me something to do.
Do you want to also just shout out everyone last season? Tremendous amount of support for me here on my channel. Hoping to bring you even more matches here in Season 7. So if you're looking for a good channel to follow, I strongly urge you to hit the follow button. If you're compelled to hit the subscribe button, God bless you, and you made a good choice. We got some fun emotes, including the Let's Go. Drop that wherever you want. Root for whoever you want. Let's go NGS, because that's what really matters. -40 in chat now. What's up, my dude? Welcome. I know you're here for Rek, not me.
He's here for the pumpkin spice Clorox.
10 players in lobby, 2 casters here as well. Looks like Dive Hard's ready. I'm gonna tell them I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
We just got to hear from ReGen Phoenix,
Now
and I think we're going to be heading into our first draft of the night. Once again, will be Volskaya Foundry. This is a map ReGen Red loved to play last season. I'm wondering if maybe some of that translates over with Arrow and Murder coming over.
One can hope.
I don't know for certain if it was a favored map of PFM. But I guess we're going to find out. Teams are ready. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to draft number 1, Volskaya Foundry. And I should turn on game sound. That would certainly help, huh?
maybe a little bit. Just a smidge.
So on the left-hand side tonight, in blue will be ReGen Phoenix. Over on the right, their challengers tonight will be Dive Hard, currently coming in first place in the division. And gosh darn it, Arrow of the Storm dropping in the sub as well. Appreciate it, and best of luck to you tonight, sir. Looks like it's going to be Arya on the bans for ReGen Phoenix. They are running sort of a duo captaincy this season between Arya and Arrow. Arya taking those draft privileges, banning away the Phoenix, and now we see Anduin banned out by Dive Hard. Rek, give me your thoughts on Anduin, because you play support, you love support. I know you've played some Anduin. Why is he so strong right now?
You know, a big thing with him is his ability to save people in a pinch. Even simply with that renew ability at level 1 with the additional healing over time, and simply his leap of faith ability is a fantastic suit. It's a full cleanse kind of that pulls allies towards you. And Kel'Thuzad, ooh, a ban on Kel'Thuzad.
Both of these bans are signaling to me that ReGen Phoenix did a little bit of homework. At least they're trying to do some sort of target banning here in this first ban phase. Now seeing a Medivh ban coming out from Dive Hard, maybe they did some research of their own. But I mean, these are some heroes here with the Kel'Thuzad and the Medivh that can be huge game changers if put in the right hands. It looks like neither side willing to take that chance here in game number 1.
Yeah, and I love what's open still. There's plenty of things open, such as Maiev.
Darabo gonna pick up the Warden and give really good engagement tool here for Phoenix. We're gonna see what the response is out of Dive Hard, but an early Maiev, something that was pretty popular in the early portions of 2019. Now, maybe we'll see a little bit more here in Season 7. There's gonna be a first pick Ana for Dive Hard. One selection left, and they want Orphea. To grab a mage, and that's a really powerful mage. And I mean, you and I know Murder on the side of ReGen Phoenix, one of her favorite heroes, and now Tin able to take it away right there. A smart pick by Dive Hard.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, a great nano target, great pickup with Ana, one of the most, if not the most powerful healer in the meta right now. And 2 more fascinating picks. This one looks familiar.
Rek, can you tell me how to spell this one? I can't quite figure it out. It's the cow-looking guy?
Yeah, it's it's ETC. Make sure there's a dot in between each one.
Good fun. Good inside joke with the ReGen fans. Hopefully you guys at home know what we're talking about. If not, sorry for the corny jokes you don't get. Final ban here for Dive Hard will be Alexstrasza, taking away another support hero, still not chosen by ReGen Phoenix. And Alex, a really strong hero on this map, can give a lot of control over those control points. And they don't call them control points for nothing. You want that control, and Alexstrasza, one of those fantastic heroes to put in that spot.
Yeah, and I do find it kind of funny that taking Ana and banning Alexstrasza, it's a little strange, but hey, I mean, if you don't like Alexstrasza, you don't like Alexstrasza, right?
Final ban here of the match will be a Nubarak by ReGen Phoenix, sending it back over to Dive Hard, and they're going to grab Diablo. Yeah, I mean, maybe have a little bit of issue dealing with something like an ETC as a Diablo, but it's a huge answer. They're going to pair it with a Jaina, now a double mage set for Nuck 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 and Tin, but they have options now for Ring of Frost and APOC. What are your thoughts there? When you combo with something like Eternal Feast, that could be deadly, Rek.
Absolutely, especially with you know, something like a Zeratul might be coming up, looks like, but we got Alarak coming from Mudge, and yeah, something like a Zeratul might muck that up too, you know, like a big old VP APOC ring and then Eternal Feast on it with a nano boost. But no, it's Zarya.
Zarya, similar sort of thing, can grab that Graviton surge.
Yes.
And pull some heroes in, maybe setting up a big ring, setting up a big APOC, but you can see what they're going for. They want that Eternal Feast to stay active for Tin. Can ReGen Phoenix avoid it? They have a few options of silence with the Alarak, with the Stukov. Is it enough, Rek?
Could be, as long as Stukov remains, you know, out of the range. And I should also mention that in the off-season, I believe in the off-season, Zarya got a big buff to her Graviton Surge at level 20. It now silences,
Ooh.
which is scary. That's
Maybe
big scary.
scarier than Buried Alive.
Possibly.
Possibly. I think the verdict's still out. Like, we don't know.
Right.
I mean, the
like
jury's
if
still out.
the white man gets caught in the entomb silence, she can just walk away. So
Yeah.
someone little. But you can't walk out of that one. Nope.
Ladies and gents, we are about to load into game number 1. Be sure to let us know with hashtag ReGen or hashtag DiveHard in chat of who you're rooting for. But here we go. Volskaya Foundry. And on the left-hand side in blue tonight, we got ReGen Phoenix Mudge playing the Alarak Murder on Kael'Thas Darabo, playing Maiev, Arya the captain here on Stukov, and last but not least, the other captain of the squad, it's Arrow on ETC. Ladies and gentlemen, making their debut, ReGen Phoenix.
And on the right-hand side, looking good with Dive Hard, it is Tin playing Orphea, Gunslinger playing Diablo, Curly will be playing Ana, Knock 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 will be playing Jaina, and Wise Guy playing Zarya.
Ooh, quite the setup. We talked about it in the draft. A lot of wombo possibility here for Dive Hard. Can they get that set up? They're going to rely a lot upon either some sort of naked ring out of Nuck 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 or a Graviton Surge out of Zarya. And depending on how good those setups are, Orphea can just have an absolute field day. But right now it's a big slide onto Tin and a little bit of trouble surrounded. And I don't think Tin gets away, or does he? Good Q there. 92 health will barely fall. First blood of the game belongs to ReGen Phoenix, just 35 seconds in.
Yeah, I mean, they looked a little sloppy for a second, ReGen Phoenix, but they managed to snag the kill. Doesn't matter how it happens, it happened.
That's not the right button, and we're going to get used to buttons again in this game. I'm trying to show you guys the talents. Here we go, back on in. I think we got it. Talents now up on your screen. Orphea is starting up with that Ancestral Strength, and I think, yeah, this is definitely signaling she wants that big Wombo Mambo damage coming out. Mana Addict from Kael'Thas, Fingers from Jaina. As the first camp's picked up by ReGen Phoenix, they grab a turret. And I promise camera work's gonna get better from here. We're just getting started, baby.
Heck yeah. Here's a funny one. I don't see Devil's Due too often anymore. How do you feel about that one?
Yeah, I mean, they are up against the Kael'Thas. Maybe the Spell Shield would have been alright. Devil's Due will give opportunity to have just a bigger health bar in general, and without any sort of percentage damage from Phoenix, maybe not a horrible idea.
Yeah, especially with how wide open this map is, with the exceptions of the control points. You know, Feast on Fear might not be the play, so I don't hate it.
Arrow taking a peek at the Sentinel, and neither side wanting to pull the trigger on starting that. We do see Diablo trying to kill Siege Camp all by himself. Going to be pretty slow. Maybe get some help from a teammate here soon as Orphea surrounded again. Maiev in tow. There's a big blast with a flame strike from Murder. Second kill of the game, and now a full level lead for ReGen Phoenix, moving on to the support camp, Rec.
Yeah, big play. Looks like we got our red fellas, our Dive Hard players, just finishing up their siege camp, and support camp is picked up by our ReGen Phoenix, and they're going to move on to their siege camp as well.
Yeah, right on cue, sending that Stukov and Kael'Thas over. About 15 seconds until control point A is active. They should be there in plenty of time. Currently ETC holding this mid bush, staying nearby mid, making sure no one's making that rotation towards them. Should be safe. We haven't checked in down bottom where Mudge has been playing up against Ana? Who's been down here in this lane? Was it Zarya?
No, Zarya's been top this whole time, I believe.
Okay, well, Mudge getting some free damage on Nuck Nuck Nuck, gonna have to use a tap before showing up to A, and already on the points Diablo, but it is contested. ETC on here as well, and with Phoenix having this biotic emitter, they're gonna look for a fight right now. Gunslinger surrounded by 4 blue heroes, being pulled back with the turret drop. That'll be the 3rd kill of the game for ReGen Phoenix. Close to level 7, they're almost there, looking for more kills. Well, they'll be safe behind the wall. Channel now will be in favor, though, of ReGen Phoenix.
Absolutely, and with a full level lead, it's going to be rough for Dive Hard to come back in here. They might want to just give it up, but here comes Orphea. She's going down. No. Yes.
Oh, Fan of Knives. Last hit from Maiev. Let's take a look at the kills so far. 2 for Alarak, 1 for Maiev, and 1 for Kael'Thas. 4-0 ReGen Phoenix still with that full level lead. They're at level 7, moving on to their turret, leaving ETC and Alarak nearby the point. They will grab this turret. And maybe with this talent advantage opportunity... Oh, no, it's still a minute 15 away. Sorry. But fight breaking loose again, Rek.
Yeah, here goes Maev with a nice tether, but not a whole lot doing besides some free damage. Alarak looking for a nice pull on Zarya, but doesn't quite connect. Or if he's looking for some nice poke damage as well.
I want to say thank you in chat. Slexia showing up, hitting the sub button. 3 months in a row. Appreciate you being here, Slexia, as always. A pleasure getting to hang out with you whenever you're hanging out with the RG fam. Here we go. It's ReGen Phoenix with that first objective wreck, and they're right on this front wall of the mid lane.
Yeah, this looks typical of, you know, most standard comps, most standard play, but they're taking a lot of damage on the Triglav. I'm not sure they're going to be able to get much from top. We'll take a look.
They took 79% damage onto that.
Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, but they'll be able to get a little bit more. They're going to get one more tower. Jaina's here throwing out a Blizzard. But they will not be able to secure that well, and that's really the well you want because control point B's up next. But they get the wall down. Maybe they'll have opportunity to continue moving in. 69 bits from Slexia. Always appreciate those as well. Level 9 to level 8 as Divehard just reached that mark. But here's Phoenix, Arrow from ReGen Phoenix sliding in onto Jaina, and she's just caught by that silence as well from Stukov. Good play there by ReGen. And with this biotic emitter available again, they can have 2 in their possession. Still a half level away from level 10, but they're going for it.
Feels good to have multiple items. But maybe Arraya's in trouble. And no, ETC says no, but it doesn't matter. She goes down anyway, Stukov.
They turn around, get the kill, and they still haven't killed this boss. Finally getting it down. Biotic emitter keeping heroes healthy without their support available. And here comes Maev looking for the tether on Curly. And Ana not able to make it out either. Now 7-1. Level 10s are here for Phoenix. And they're about to march in on an enemy fortification camp. A smart heads-up play here.
Yeah, definitely. With 10, they can do this easily, with no trouble, without being interrupted. So, there it is.
So Rek, we know you're the type of player who frequently finds himself playing from behind. If you're dive hard in this matchup, how do you respond from this 7-1 start and being behind 2 levels?
Well, at this point, the waves are pushed out enough where ReGen Phoenix can't do too much besides grab their own camps. So at this point, you want your waves to come in towards you, and you just want to be patient. You want to be able to clear those and soak all those lanes at once.
I want to say one more shout out, another subscription coming through. This one from my very good friend Ghost Dunk, my fellow co-host on Nexus Now. Also my co-host this season once again on the Thursday Night Showdown as Orphea in trouble yet again. Tin escaping this time with 200 health, but there's the mosh pit. It's only on a Diablo. Ring of Frost in response, gonna lock in ETC and interrupt that, but Diablo's still in trouble. The turret's on top of him. Gunslinger might fall here. Still 500 health. That Devil's Due coming into play, Rek. Keeping him alive. Finally gonna fall. 8th kill of the game for ReGen Phoenix as control point B should be announced pretty soon. Diablo at 94 souls will have a full cooldown on his death. And probably a good thing for him because he doesn't want to enter this without souls. He's only 6 away from reaching that quest completion.
Yeah, I want to point out, too, the excellent target, full target on Diablo, with the exception of Maev, keeping the rest of the team away, getting those resets on the Phantom Knights. Well done.
Garbo clearing up mid, trying to get closer to level 13 for Phoenix to see this top wave. That should actually be enough, as well as this turret. You see Arrow whacking that one down. And yeah, level 13 achieved for ReGen Phoenix. Still a 2-level lead here for them as control point B is active. Arrow gonna have to help his team a little bit. Power sliding in onto Diablo. Gunslinger on this front line, trying to push him back. It looks like Divehard not afraid to potentially take a fight here down this talent tier. Zarya on her way to the top lane right now.
Here comes Zarya. Maybe she can make something happen, although they are down in talent tier. Maybe
still
they just
also
want to look for...
Yeah, still also having to clear up that siege camp as well. You see them working on that. Yeah. Now 40% on the channel for ReGen Phoenix. Still a level and a half away from level 13 for Divehard. They're ready to move in. Wise Guy with that Graviton Surge. Look for him to start it off for this team. They have all the heroics ready to go right now.
Here it comes. APOC coming out. Let's see what comes up next. Ring of Frost whiffs. APOC whiffs. Eternal Feast comes out.
Hits a couple. 10 with that Eternal Feast. Still. Oh, wait. That's not Eternal Feast. That's the Warden's Cage. Where'd the Feast go? Orpheus down. Double kill for ReGen
Thanksgiving
Phoenix.
is over. No more Feast.
I don't think Gunslinger gets out either. He's stuck. And now this big Triglot Protector showing up as well. It's a triple kill for ReGen Phoenix. 11-1. And they're ready to move in onto this top fort. Looking at the first structure of the game down. I don't think anything's slowing them down right now, Reg.
No, we've got the momentum. You've got the Triglov. Keep going.
In trouble's Mudge, trying to get himself out. Still has the counter-strike, uses it there, and the Mosh Pit locking in 3. They find 1 kill. Gunslinger's low, but they're going to trade out the ETC in that tower range. Without the minions, it's a good bit of damage.
Absolutely. And it looks like they're going to either head down to bottom lane, or perhaps they'll just get some damage and try to destroy the fort. Yeah, they're going to go for the fort. They've got enough health on the Triglov. Although, Alarak's in a bit of a bind, but maybe Diablo is actually in trouble. No.
No chomps on that Eternal Feast as the second fort falls of this objective phase. Big pushback onto Orphea. Should be all ReGen Phoenix gets out of this. Expect to see a quick move down to their turret after this pops. Both turrets currently active. We'll see which one they want to go to. Level 13 just achieved for Dive Hard. Looks like they're going to play the safer route and go for their own right here.
Looks that way. They're going both to their turrets and their siege. They're splitting their resources right now. If ReGen Phoenix manages to catch that, I'm not sure they want to, considering it's the same talent tier. But if they did, they could have. There could have been some serious trouble there.
Looks like instead they're going to play slow until level 16. Close to that mark right now. Move on to another biotic emitter, which is available. But they got to find that little bit of XP that's still left. Oh, they're going to go ahead and start it. Arrow holding the bush up here. Also in soak range at that top lane.
Yeah, wow.
Looks like Alarak will hold on to the emitter.
Going back to laning, I suppose. Dive Hard doesn't want to take a fight anytime soon, that's for sure. They're going to want to get their soak on, I'm sure.
And, you know, being behind the 2 levels, the waves are kind of pushed out right now. Top lane with that siege camp early, it is being cleared out by Maev, but it's pushing the lane up, making it a little bit harder to soak the XP. And here comes a Warden's Cage, Mosh Pit as well, Eternal Feast on top of ETC as well as his APOC now, but in a lot of trouble is Jaina. Gonna trade it off with Maev, 1-for-1. Biotic emitter now drop. Murder's gonna fall. Absolutely murdered by Orphea. 10 coming through on the bottom side of the fight. And Kael'thas not able to walk inside that biotic emitter. So the first favorable trade of the game for Dive Hard. Just what they needed, and they did it down a talent tier wreck. Maybe that's a spark of confidence they're gonna need to bring him through the end of this game.
It's absolutely a spark of confidence, a spark of hope, whatever you want to call it, because, you know, trading 2-to-1 talent tier down is certainly what you needed. They're going to need more than that, unfortunately, but it's a start.
Phoenix moving on down to the bottom lane with a wave here. They have an idea of where their opponents are at in those other lanes, so they're going to get some free damage now onto this bottom fort wall. ETC holding the rotational path. Honest here going to get a sleep dart onto Stukov. But that first turret is down, second turret about to fall as well. And ReGen Phoenix going to escape out of here with a little bit more XP and a little bit easier path in if they're able to take this next objective, which is just now announced. Control point C in 25 seconds. Here's Diablo. But that's all he's going to do to Alarak.
Alright, looks like 16 is about to pop for Dive Hard, so they're going to have a nice fair fight for this next objective. However, maybe not, because we're grabbing a turret, ReGen Phoenix.
And Phoenix getting another turret. They did have to use that biotic emitter, which I think they wish they still had. Now they're finding a fight at mid, a big power slide on the Diablo, but so much health. You see the trouble they're going to have trying to take care of him with that Devil's Due. Ring of Frost connecting and ETC's down. A late Phoenix coming out of Kael'thas means it's just going to be a 1-for-1 here with Jaina falling. But could have maybe been a whole lot more if that was synced up properly with the Warden's Cage.
Absolutely, it could have. And ReGen Phoenix is looking like they're looking a little healthier than our friends over at Dive Hard. So they're gonna maybe make their way onto the point, maybe not without an ETC.
Yeah, kind of hard to play this without your front line. Still 20 seconds until that happens. Gunslinger trying to move in with one of those speed shields from Zarya. Now Murder in trouble. Kel'Thas not one of those heroes that can get out of Diablo's grasp easily. So the massive shove coming out from Stukov, keeping Murder alive, and Phoenix able to move on to the point, start channeling for the blue squad, dropping a turret up in this lane as well, trying to keep Gunslinger back, who's being an absolute menace on Diablo in this game.
Yeah, no kidding. Especially with the overpower reset at 16. You see all those flips, all those stuns coming back and forth, just giving Kel'Thas there a hard time. And Jane is coming back, ETC's coming back. Are we gonna have another big fight? Looks that way. No, maybe not.
Mosh Pit back online, Ring of Frost ready in just a second. And ReGen Phoenix, knowing they're up 43%, looks like they want to move on to the Biotic Emitter and make a more favorable fight for themselves. This is a veteran move coming out from Phoenix here, knowing the situation, knowing they have enough time to do both things, get this emitter, move back down to the bottom, and take the fight. Or, hey, whoa, are they just completely giving bot?
Oh, a cheeky top keep play.
This is really aggressive. Do they have enough time to make it after this? 60%. It channels quick. They're going to run in there, but they're not going to have enough time to kind of tap around the fight. They have to get in there and take it right when they get here. 82%. Approaching 90. They'll be here in time, but they got to take the fight now. Here's ETC sliding in, missing Diablo. Phoenix dropped early, and it's not going to get much value at all. The Biotic Emitter was played as well. There's the Warden's Cage on the backside. Eternal Piece dropped from Orphea. Ring of Frost not hitting, but the Graviton did, held back a few. No one dead yet as the Monster comes out. Locks in for the Phantom Knives. Resets 1, 2, 3. Gunslinger will be number 4. ReGen Phoenix looking to make it all 5 with Curly standing in the bottom lane. It's a mega kill for ReGen Phoenix, moving on the point, making it happen.
Wow, did you see that mosh pit? 4-man mosh pit while on a conveyor belt. That was like a regular sushi line. And Maev was hungry.
Oh man, and you know, God bless Maev for having the Phantom Knives ready to go. Got a ton of cooldowns in that one spot. That'll do it. A mega kill there, the first of the season for ReGen Phoenix. Their third Triglav Protector of the game. They're moving on to this bottom wall with 4 heroes still down.
Yeah, things are looking a little bleak for Dive Hard, but it's not over yet. As long as they don't die here, they're still in it.
Level 20 talents achieved for ReGen Phoenix while that was all going on. Those are up on your screen right now as you see this bottom keep wall has been destroyed. The Triglav moving on to the keep now. Diablo trying to shut this down, doesn't have souls. He's back down to 10. Gunslinger, you're not nearly as healthy anymore as the Eternal Piece is still there. Hitting the Triglav Protector has not expired, but it just turns around. Diablo whacks him. Kills him. 50-second cooldown without a tank now for Dive Hard. And they're missing a few heroics as well. Ring of Frost just being used. Eternal Feast was used. The keep is down, and we'll see what Phoenix wants to do from here. If they can find a kill or not. If they can, maybe can end it right now, and they do. It's a big charge in from Alarak. They're going to find more with this Warden's Cage. Jaina's down. It's a triple kill. They're on the core with the Phoenix. Phoenix doing the Phoenix. And Rek, I think this is game number 1 unless there's some sort of heroics right now at Orphea.
I think it's safe to say that this is over. Especially with that mosh pit that's getting a stun and keep Orphea in place. And Zarya wants to dance too, because why not?
GG. Game number 1. Handed over to the brand new team here for NGS Season 7, ReGen Phoenix. Getting on the board first here in this matchup. So let's take a look at the match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming Series, our wonderful host here of our fantastic community-driven league. Let's take a look at this. 23-5 in favor of ReGen Phoenix. It's Alarak leading the way. That's Mudge 7-0. That's a stat line you like to see if you're ReGen Phoenix. Anything else standing out to you here in terms of the score line? I mean, pretty good healing coming out from Stukov. Ana falling a few times, but you know, from what I could tell, Curly was doing a decent job trying to start some of that off with the sleeps. It never fully clicked there in the match for Dive Hard. How do you want to see them kind of react and rebound back after that one?
You know, I think they just need to reevaluate their engages. I think that the damage and the potential was there, especially you could see it right here with Orphea topping the damage out of all the players. I think they just need to calm down, reevaluate how they want to approach this very aggressive Regen Phoenix. And I think they can do it. I think that they have a shot, a real shot. And yeah, I think it could be done. They just need to rethink their strategies a bit. Maybe they have some secret pocket strategy with another strange pick similar to Zarya.
All right, well, guys, we're going to take a short break and be back for game number 2 in just a moment. We're going to get that lobby set up, and we will see you guys in 3 minutes. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back here in a lobby. They're asking if we're ready. I was going to say that I'm ready too. Throwing that R in the chat for them. We're heading into game number 2, and we know what it's going to be. It was selected by ReGen Phoenix. It's going to be Infernal Shrines.
Ooh, Infernal Shrines. You know, this is a big... Whoa. Who's this fella? This is a big... I noticed that this map was very popular last season when we were in Division C, so I'm wondering... Oh, we're about to start. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a big popular map, and we're going to go ahead and start this draft hard. Dive hard.
So game number one, I think we can say a pretty favorable win there for ReGen Phoenix. They had at one point a 2-level lead. The kills were mostly in their favor as well. Won all 3 objectives. We talked about
one small hiccup, but
well, we talked about like how Dive Hard can respond after that. In game number one, we saw a few target bans. The Medivh taken away, the Alex Straza perhaps taken away. There's the Medivh ban yet again. Yep. Anything you want to see changed in the draft specifically? Do you like seeing that more combo-centric team comp, or do you want something a little bit easier to kind of translate into Infernal Shrines?
No, I like the combo stuff. That was fun. No, I like the combo stuff. And there's I guess a respect ban from Kael'thas, although in general Kael'thas is pretty good on Infernal Shrines, so it could go either way. But no changes to the bans from ReGen Phoenix. Interesting.
Yeah, the good old if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they're going to stick with the Phoenix, stick with the Kel'Thuzad. There's the Maiev taken away early, the first adjustment we've seen now. And Nuck going to take away a hero that was played pretty well in game number one by Darabo. Wondering how this is going to change things. Does that Orpheus still make an appearance here? Now Murder having a chance to hop on the hero. Will we see the Ana coming out early for Arya? As that was another hero that was selected early in game number one. It's going to be Johanna for Arrow and right back onto Stukov for Arya.
Oh, Stuki. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, just like you said. And, you know, I do like the pair of Johanna and Stukov. It's nice to get a nice condemn, and suddenly there's a big old silence underneath you. But here comes a Nubarak, and that can make Stukov's life a lot harder, as well as Maiev. You know, they're going very divey.
Yeah, this is tough, but I wonder now with seeing this Anubarak, that Alarak's still out there, and you know, I thought Mudge played it so well in game number one, and it's one of the heroes that I think does so well against a Nubarak because you just shut down that burrow charge escape with a silence, and when you already have Stukov as well, that's a good recipe there. So I'd be worried right now if I'm Dive Hard about potentially seeing that Alarak again.
Yeah, Alarak, what does he want more than anything? He wants to fight you. He wants you to come in. He wants you to approach. Yeah, and like you said, he can silence the engage. He can silence the disengage, rather. So yeah, I mean, the Alarak is a looming threat, but this time it's an Ana ban from my friends over at ReGen Phoenix, and a Zeratul ban. Very smart from Dive Hard.
We thought maybe Zeratul in game number one with that Wombo. Instead, it was the Zarya.
I was so sure, but Zarya, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Dive Hard.
Absolutely. We talked about maybe seeing that level 20 talent. Didn't quite make it there. But it could have been a late game changer there if they finally did make it to level 20. Here's Sylvanas. Here's Jaina. What do you think of these two girls right here in this draft?
These two ladies are very standard. This is looking like a very standard, draft from ReGen Phoenix. I really like this Alfirian pickup, what with Nubarak and Maiev, and you know, innervate less, or gets a lot of value with Orphea and Tyrael. Oh man, we get to cast a Tyrael game.
Ooh, so I think this should be Sanctification.
I hope. Although it could be Judgment. They could be all in one character. You never know. This could be an all-in on one, because there is no cleanse from the side of ReGen Phoenix.
The other thing to note too is they have what's the Maev's lock you in a thing called
Warden's
heroic? No, the other not
Containment Disc.
Containment disc, yeah. So they have Containment Disc and Cocoon, two ways to take heroes completely out of a fight.
So they might be looking to make some 5v3s.
And we do see that last pick will indeed be the Alarak, the one I thought maybe was going to come out. So I got to send this to chat. Let us know. Hashtag ReGen or hashtag DiveHard. Who you here rooting for? Maybe who do you just think is going to win this game number 2? Participate with your vote in chat right now. Us casters are interested to see what you guys are thinking as well.
That's right. I see Joey. I see Ryan out there, I believe. Yeah, they're out there. I know they are. So, what do they think? I wonder.
I wonder.
I wonder what they think.
Do they know about Heroes of the Second?
Oh, here's the second. It's a segment. It's a wonderful segment from my podcast that has 3 episodes. It's a wonderful, wonderful segment. Heroes of the Second, where you talk about Heroes of the Storm for 1 second, and that's the end of it. So, let's do a segment right now. ReGen Phoenix versus Dive Hard. All right, there you go.
And that was a ReGen second brought to you by Repsychic.
That was your Heroes of the Second.
That's a better way to end it. Game number 2 is going to be Infernal Shrines, and once again on the left in blue, it's going to be Mudge. On the Alarak, Arya playing the Stukov, Murder switching over to Jaina, Darabo switching to Sylvanas, and Arrow hopping on the Orc-skinned Johanna. Winners of game number 1 making their season debut, it's ReGen Phoenix.
And on the right side, we've got Tin playing Orphea once again. Wise Guy will be on Tyrael this time, Nuck 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 will be playing Maiev, Curly on Malfurion, and Gunslinger will be playing a Nubarak.
So let's take a look at our level 1 talents, as looks like ReGen Phoenix bringing their Sylvanas and crew up to the top lane, going to try to get started on one of those towers early, and no one from Dive Hard thinking about it yet, so there they go. They're on the tower with a Blizzard from Jaina, and that's going to be one of them down early. A nice little XP start here for ReGen Phoenix.
Sure, why not? I mean, you've got the way to shut it down. Why not? But here comes a full rotation, almost full rotation from Dive Hard. They're going to go top. They're just going to clear that wave and maybe cut their losses here.
So it looks like Alarak remaining their solo laner in this match, but oddly enough, in the bottom lane. Not playing that top lane right now, it's Johanna up against Orphea in that top lane. Still at mid here is Murder, trying to get assaulted by Gunslinger and that Anubrak, not able to lock in enough damage with material there. So they're going to rotate back away. Gonna struggle a bit early, I think, until they get some of their pieces put together with the Warden's Cage and that Eternal Feast if you're Dive Hard. I think the early game, just having the Jaina and Sylvanas, it's a bit scarier type of damage that they're going to be able to do. But the aggression's here. You see them. They're looking at this camp. Darabo in trouble on Sylvanas. Going to have that haunting wave, but wasn't able to use it. Sylvanas down 1 for 1 as Orphea fell in the top lane. We missed that one.
Yeah, Johanna and or Alarak helped out Johanna up top for a nice little gank there, but you know, I think the real play everyone wanted to see was the one in bottom.
But waves are being soaked a little bit more efficiently right now by ReGen Phoenix. They find themselves with a half-level lead still around where that camp is of theirs. Not making a move on it quite yet, but you know Dive Hard. They've been sharking in that area. Just found the kill earlier on Sylvanas. And looks like Darabo moving back in, but this time with a couple more friendly heroes nearby.
Maiev is going to start rotating downward. Oh, nothing. They're going to go sniff out this ReGen Phoenix camp. They're going to engage on it. Look at this. Big dive coming in from Maiev. They're going to get... Are they going to get on the camp? No. Stukov goes down. Nubarak's going to go ahead and grab the camp now. Yes. Darabo narrowly escapes. Yeah.
Gunslinger burrow charged it in on top of that at the last second. It was really almost fully channeled there for blue. But was not completed, and a great steal by Dive Hard, who find themselves ahead in XP by a half level, and this is the first shrine of the game, activating at mid in just a second, and looking at the map, we know it's going to be an arcane shrine. This is the first lead we've seen all night out of Dive Hard, and coming at a really good time here early in game number 2.
Absolutely. You know, I just want to point out, too, before we really get into this, that Tin on Orphea has been doing the solo inning, not Tyrael, Wise Guy. Interesting.
It is interesting. ReGen Phoenix moving in, starting to get a little bit of control here as Maiev trying to counteract it. Duck, 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 now having to back out down to 50% health, getting a little bit of supporting from Malfurion, and it's a Nubrak getting silenced by Alarak, like I said, might have been the issue, but just barely able to burrow charge away.
Yeah, and it is literally like you said. Alarak can force that out and cancel it with his silences because he, like I said, wants to fight you. But they're coming in nice and healthy now. Doesn't matter. Alarak's gonna chunk a Nubarak again. Can Malfurion keep him up? Here comes Murder. She's going down quickly, but she manages to escape too. Looks like ReGen Phoenix might be disengaging, but they still want those skeletons.
Waiting on one more bio kill switch from Stukov, it looks like. Alarak's just moving in, trying to find Orphea. Instead, they might find a Nubrak. Yes, that's going to be a kill. Nuck, very low, moving in. Sylvanas trying to finish it off, and Darabo does get it, as well as securing the first objective of the game, ReGen Phoenix. About to get on the board with some structural damage.
Darabo's getting a little dangerously low there. I don't like that, but they managed to get it. Punisher's punishing my man Wise Guy over there. And we're just going to punch down middle, ReGen Phoenix says. But here comes the rest of Dive Hard. They're looking. Double stun from
yeah, there's that second leap. That should be just about it. I don't expect them to get through the rest of this fort. Even with the black arrows that were shutting it down, it's going to be really tight here. They're going for it. They do get it down. We'll have enough room for that disengage, and all the while up top, it was Alarak pushing that top lane, found another tower, found some more XP, and now it's a full level lead for ReGen Phoenix. Looking pretty good after finding that objective.
Yeah, they managed to get what they wanted. They got the tower, and they had 7, so it didn't look like Dive Hard wanted to engage there. If they had similar talent tier, I'm sure, or same talent tier rather, I'm sure they would have. They wanted to, dare I say, dive hard.
The Nubrak checking out this neutral camp down bottom. Sylvanas in a vent, and I don't think Gunslinger knows it quite yet, but it was just checked by Curly. Good job by Malfurion, making sure that bush was clear. And now maybe playing a little bit safer is Dive Hard, knowing that they're down a level. They aren't even talents. Camp taken up top by ReGen Phoenix. Maybe now going to walk down to this bottom lane as well. Oh no, they're just tiptoeing around this. Neither side really wanting to make a move on.
They're hovering. I think that it looks almost as if it looked almost as if Dive Hard, not Work Hard, excuse me. Dive Hard just wanted to kind of guard this rather than take it themselves. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. They're going to go ahead and go on it. They know that there were 2 top, and it looks like they really just want to prioritize this. Orphea is going to get some nice poke damage down on Johanna, but Stukov's just going to heal that right back up.
You know, I don't want to sound biased. It's never my job here casting NGS matches, but I do feel like this is a smart move from ReGen Phoenix, playing it slow, not taking that fight, knowing they're ahead on the race to level 10, and those heroics being the important part here. They play it slow, they don't take that camp, but ultimately it didn't really cost them much. Darabo maybe stuck out in mid by that haunting wave, able to get out. Gunslinger like, where did my food go? I was ready to eat a Sylvanas. Instead, she's going to be safe, as level 10 is right around the corner for ReGen Phoenix.
Yeah, I know. My Ev was looking ready to make herself some undead soup.
With those level 10 talents, Phoenix willing to move on to an enemy camp. Here they go invading it with all 5 heroes. Arrow going to hold a forward vent. Should be a pretty easy and successful steal here. And there it is, evening up the score. As we do see Merc Queen was selected by Sylvanas. We'll see how much value they continue to get out of that.
Oh, I'm sure some. But Dive Hard managed to get their bruisers out. They're going to go ahead and just kind of get some free siege here, just a little bit. Well, maybe not. But yeah, they managed to snag their 10s. I'm curious to see what they go with. They went with Warden's Cage. They did not do our containment disc idea.
Yeah, we're still waiting to see what the Tyrael wants to do. That's another one we have a huge question mark on.
I told you,
quite
man,
literally.
It might be Judgment. Oh, no, wrong. I was saying it's Sanctification.
I like it. I think it's fine because it's going to give you a little bit of protection from that Wombo when it does come out. It's just going to be tough to land it in the right spot. There's the Cocoon. It's going to be quickly trying to be taken care of as a Nubrak falls first. There's the Eternal Feast in the Warden's Cage. Disengaged with the swipes from Arya, but she's going to fall 1 for 1 on both sides. Make it 2 for 1 as Johanna falls. Alarak trying to get a little something at the end of it, but they're just not able to. Rek, did you see a Sanctification in that fight? Because I completely missed it.
I did, and that's actually what prevented the swipes from completely getting any value. Yeah, no, with that Sanctification and vulnerability, the swipes were not enough. But we can see Sylvanas here going with a cheeky mid push because there is a camp there. And like you said, the Merc Queen, it's going to make that all the more scary.
Yeah, Nubrak going to have to respond. Alarak's here with Sylvanas, so they should be okay. And no one's actually coming. They're just staying up at top. And this is a lot of free push, and it's going to start looking at a keep in just a moment.
Yeah, this might be a little rough, but here comes the Nubrak. He's gonna go ahead and clear that up. They don't. ReGen Phoenix doesn't want to stay too long. They don't want to get jumped on by Dive Hard.
All the while, that objective was completed up. The first objective of the entire match by Dive Hard, as it's gonna leap over onto Johanna, and this is a frozen Punisher, so disabling structures is its job. You see it already acting as Sylvanas onto this fort, but no one from Dive Hard moving forward with it quite yet.
No. The Stukov was discouraging that with his big ol' E.
There's the swipes used early. Cocoon is ready to go if they want to use it. Mudge falling low on Alarak. There's going to be a Ring of Frost combo from Jaina. They get 2 Eternal Feast on top of Johanna. It's going to expire as the explosion from Tyrael's death. Not able to get a kill. There's going to be a big pullback. And another kill. A triple kill for ReGen Phoenix.
I'm telling you, man. I think this Alarak pick was super intelligent.
Oh, Curly. Curly.
Oh, bud.
There's no way he could get out. They're just kind of stuck there.
Yeah.
Sylvanas showing up. Does have black arrows? I don't know. Probably doesn't really need it. There's the black arrows. Okay.
All 5 pushing top. Maya's sitting middle, trying to grab 13 for her team.
I think Phoenix is going to rotate to enemy camp. They still have a
Looks that
Palantir
way.
lead.
Yeah.
Mid keep wall down. Bot fort just got killed. It's just the bottom lane the strongest, and that's where our next Punisher is going to be. But Phoenix up 4 kills. Up with Palantir. Here comes Nubrak. Burrow charging in. Mudge in trouble. Trying to steal it away. He's got to stand on top of this. Has the counter strike if he wants to use it. He does use it. There's a sanctification. Keeping Tyrael alive, as well as that big blast by Malfurion. His Twilight Dream shutting down ReGen Phoenix. Trying to finish off Stukov. They're chasing Arya. No swipes left anymore for Stukov. But look at that Blizzard. Gonna find a kill. Actually, 2.
Wow.
Ends up being a 3 for 2. Darabo's still in trouble. Has the Haunting Wave getting out, but really good, sturdy fight. Another good sanctification coming out of Dive Hard.
Yeah, absolutely. If that sanctification hadn't come out when it did, I think that would have been disastrous for Dive Hard. But luckily, Wise Guy managed to pull it off. And I want to point out as well, Araya with her level 1 talent Low Blow, definitely getting value there, allowing Jaina to get that Blizzard off and finish the kill.
Ooh, Lurking Arm dealing 100% more damage to enemies below 30% health.
Scary stuff.
10 solo down on this camp. No one anywhere nearby to help. Orphea should be able to grab this successfully, but will the escape happen too? Yes, it will. Orphea safe back behind this fort.
Yeah, ReGen Phoenix didn't have any vision of the rest of the team. They had no idea who was on that. Maybe it was one person. Maybe it was all 4. All 5, excuse me. Who knows?
Ooh, another rough spot, though, with Sylvanas on the other side. Dive Hard late to the party. They're going to lose another structure just because of these black arrows. And that's now going to be all 3 outer forts destroyed by ReGen Phoenix. Our next shrine, our 3rd shrine, activating in 15 seconds, and half a level away from level 16 is ReGen Phoenix. They're potentially going to try to fight it here before moving on to the point.
Ugh, I'm just going to say it. I hate Sylvanas. For the Alliance.
For the Alliance, indeed. That should be level 16, enough for it up top. Darabo going to lock that in. The rest of the team working on this Bruiser camp here to help counter push during the objective, and they got to make a quick move on down. They're already late. 13 little soldiers picked up by Dive Hard, and that's tallying up very quickly. Sylvanas just now getting on her mount as ReGen Phoenix going to try to make a play, but is it too late, Rek? You tell me.
It just might be, but they might want to look up for some kills, and it looks like they're going to get exactly that.
They didn't even have to use the big arrow, the wailing arrow yet from Sylvanas. All this silence way too much for a Nubarak. They're moving into point just 2 away with the sanctification being used. Dive Hard will get the objective, but ReGen Phoenix still standing in here. As long as they don't move out of the pit, this thing's not going to jump on them. There's the wailing arrow. Another pullback, a 4-man jump by the Punisher, but not enough to save Dive Hard. It's a double kill for ReGen Phoenix. Now 12-7. They have level 16 as their opponents are going to have to clear up this top lane Bruiser push about to hit that keep wall.
Yeah, I think this was a bit of a misplay that was later on remedied by ReGen Phoenix. They had 16. There was no reason to be late to that fight. But they managed to get 2 kills out of it, and the Punisher got absolutely no value whatsoever. Plus, they have Sylvanas. They can push harder. they can push significantly harder, excuse me, than Dive Hard can.
Yeah, so
they're
far,
gonna do exactly that.
So far, Sylvanas is our stat leader right now, leading in Siege, leading in hero damage of all heroes. Darabo down here with the team, getting through yet another wall. They're going to back on out. Even with this talent here right now, they're not wanting to give it away. They're trying to play it slow. Instead, they want this siege camp, but we've seen what's happened twice already in this game. A Nubarak has burrow charged in onto a camp that was already killed. And Phoenix is going to make another play for it. Here comes Tyrael using that Holy Ground on the point. Now silenced and stunned with that Condemn. Actually, the Blessed Shield having to come out. Swipe's going to keep things alive for now. Missing the Twilight Dream. Actually, a 10-second cooldown. We'll be ready in just a moment once again from Malfurion.
Munch got cocooned, but he's looking fine as he's Alarak, and he wants those kills.
Eternal Feast still taking a lot of value, and Phoenix not respecting Orpheus Heroic. Gonna lose one hero, might lose two. Yes, they will. We'll get that Maiev at the end of the play. Ends up being a 4 for 2 for ReGen Phoenix. Just Curly, the support, still standing for Dive Hard. Sylvanas is here, and let's check the Black Arrow's cooldown. Yeah, it's ready to go. Do they want it?
They want middle. Looks like they have the Mercenary Queen. They have mercenaries. Why not go for it?
No support though. Stukov is down, and Sylvanas pretty low. Maybe a little worried that someone's gonna be able to get in on top of her. But they're moving on this keep, and with the catapult there will be enough. First keep of the game, and now constant catapults in the mid lane for ReGen Phoenix, able to make their retreat as well. 8 seconds till Jaina gets back, 12 for Stukov. Maiev just now respawning, full strength on the side of Dive Hard. And it will be the 4th objective here pretty soon. Just a level away right now from 20 is ReGen Phoenix. A couple camps on the map, a Bruiser on the side of Dive Hard. Siege camp on the side of Phoenix, and that neutral camp down as well in the bottom lane.
Yeah, not all. And unfortunately, Dive Hard doesn't have any of their force right now. So they gotta. They're gonna want to look for something. Looks like ReGen Phoenix wants the bottom camp, and they're gonna. Dive Hard is gonna go ahead and grab their bruisers. Maybe they can get that top for it. Who knows?
So with that siege camp pushing bottom, catapult pressure as well. It's gonna be something they have to worry about for Dive Hard. Top lane will be okay. Mid should be somewhat of an issue, but at least they're going to be nearby that to be able to help handle some of the waves coming through. ReGen Phoenix going to play it even slower now, getting their own bruiser camp up top to counteract what's happening on the other side.
Yeah, they don't have 20. I like it. I like the slow play. They know that Dive Hard has to clear bottom. They know that Dive Hard has to clear middle. Why not just mess around for a little bit? Go grab 20. Although, it looks like they're going to grab some skeletons.
Yeah, Sylvanas was up top looking at it. I'm surprised they didn't just keep one hero dedicated to there. Yeah, there goes Darabo once again. Going to get on this top wave. They know they want the 20s. Someone for Phoenix is making that call. They're all retreating. There's the 20s. Now they have opportunity if they want to re-engage this. And they're up 20 skeletal defenders in a good spot here, Rick.
Absolutely love that play. Love it. Love every second of it.
Level 20 talents up on your screen. You see the upgrades to swipes and that wailing arrow. Here they come. A silence onto a Nubarak. Losing a lot of health, and the beetle down just like that. There's the Blessed Shield. Warden's Cage in response. Nuck, nuck, nuck. Not able to get away. Curly on the backside. Use that Twilight Dream. Trying to move out with 200 health. Darabo and Chase Holy Ground. Very good from Wise Guy, but look at the quivering arrows. Finishing off Malfurion. 3 heroes down. Punisher grabbed. Phoenix marching through a wave. No keep in front of them. This should be game and the set here for ReGen Phoenix, Rek.
Yeah, it looks that way. I mean, unless it takes them 35 seconds to get this core down, that's not the case. It's going down very quickly.
Oh, Tin trying to tank it. He's able to, but the core not able to tank all this damage coming in from ReGen Phoenix. They made their debut tonight, and they're going home with a 2-0 domination over Dive Hard. All right, so let's take another look at our match summary brought to you by Nexus Gaming. Series 19-9 for ReGen Phoenix. Stukov once again leading in heals. Really good play again at Adaribo. Just solid both games. Game number 1, of course, was on that Maiev. Game number 2, moving over Sylvanas, and I think in both games, up there. Of course, I think the MVP in game 1 was probably the Alarak, but Sylvanas right up there in game number 2. Rek, what are your thoughts here on Infernal Shrines?
Wow. I think my MVP for this one actually is Alarak Mudge. There was one fight in particular on top when Dive Hard was moving into the top fort, or the ReGen Phoenix's top fort, with their Punisher. He got down pretty low, but I just had this feeling that he was just comfortable with that. He knew that, like I said, he wanted to fight them. He wanted to bring them in, bait them, and punish them. And that's exactly what he did. I loved the Alarak play here. I loved the Stukov play here. I thought it was fantastic. There's so many silences. It was really fun to watch, I gotta say. Well-deserved from ReGen Phoenix.
Yeah, the triple silence comp there with the Alarak, the Sylvanas, the Stukov. What a great answer for a hero like a Nubrak. And they're able to take that game number 2. You're able to take down beer number 2. It looks like we have an interview set to go. Rek, you want to join me in lobby 3 here over on the ReGen server?
Yes, let's do exactly that.
All right, so we are joined by an outstanding member of ReGen Phoenix. Played that Alarak twice tonight. Mudge, how you feeling after week number 1 domination here?
Well, my heart's pounding, and it was a good 2 games. Feeling good.
So obviously game number 1 was a success for you. I believe it was 7-0 on your stat line. Tremendous amount of damage and some pretty darn good value with the Counter-Strike. How does it feel? Obviously you're comfortable on the hero, but how did it feel here in Division B East getting to play the hero?
Well, I mean, it felt good. I was honestly a little jittery at the beginning of that first game, but as we played, first game of the season, it all started to calm down and we started grooving, and once that happened, it was just like clockwork.
So let's talk a bit about game number 1. Volskaya Foundry, I believe, was the selection of Dive Hard, and a map that I know ReGen Red got to play a lot last season. You guys have a few members from that team, but also you guys are made up of a few members from PFM. Was this a map you guys played a lot last season or in the past, or is this something new that maybe being pushed on the team with kind of bringing all these pieces together?
Well, actually, Volskaya was a map that we played a fair bit as PFM, memorably against Bellevue College that one game. But so, it's something that I feel like is a really professional map with a lot of different rotations and a lot of different key on point rotations you've got to do. And
yeah, talking about those must-do things on Volskaya, it seemed like you guys were just always a step ahead on the camps. You grabbed a lot of turrets. I believe you got every single biotic emitter, or next to nearly all of them. It seemed like you guys had the better mentality of how to play the map, moving on to those points and controlling the camps, controlling the items. Is that a big focus for ReGen right now, or was that just kind of in the midst of the game? It just so happened we were always there.
Well, you're never always just going to be there. I mean, it's got to be something that you talk about and you plan for. But a lot of those are just gut calls, just following what you're supposed to do. If you get a call from Arrow, you follow it. The whole team stays on key, cooldowns, and it all works out.
Rek, you got anything for game number 1?
For game number 1, so not anything for game number 1. I have plenty of questions for game number 2, though. Don't worry.
Okay, so let's talk about game number 2 then. Infernal Shrines. This was the map selection of ReGen Phoenix, and a bit, I don't want to say like a too much different of a map, because it kind of does play similarly to Volskaya Foundry in the fact that you're fighting over a point and both teams are going to be moving in there and taking big fights. This time you didn't have to deal with the huge wombo that was the Diablo, the Jaina, the Zarya that you saw in game number 1, and the Orphea, of course. Game number 2, it switched a little bit. The Anubarak and the Tyrael on the front line. As being the Alarak player, were you licking your chops getting to deal with that Anubarak? Because I talked during draft about how Alarak would be a great response to the Anubarak. That's exactly what you did with the 5th pick. How did it feel making the difference from game 1 to game 2?
It definitely felt more impactful because once Anubarak comes in, of course, he's got nowhere else to go. And if you displace him further into the team, he's just going to melt. So we just had to pay attention, stay spread so that we didn't get caught in a big Maiev. And as long as they weren't able to engage on too many of us, which in a couple of fights they were able to, they got off and they chopped a few of us down. We just had to stay spread enough so that we could respond to it afterward.
And then, Breck, I'll let you throw in some game 2 questions.
Yeah, and it's actually specifically for you, Mudge. So when you saw that they drafted all this dive, what with Maiev, with Anubarak, and we'll even throw Interior there with Judgment if he felt like it. I wouldn't judge, but was Alarak like still on the like? Was he on the mind beforehand, or did you see that they drafted all this dive and knowing that character who wants to fight so much, was that always on the mind? Was that always the plan, or did you guys? No. Okay.
We had kind of planned. I was looking at Malthael or somebody to kind of been on the shrine, control the shrine point, that sort of thing. And once I saw the Wombo and everything that they were looking for, I knew that if I got into the middle of that team, I was just going to go down. So it was better to be able to play somebody that could respond well and even displace himself if he had to, and do things of that nature, get some silences out and disrupt it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I made the point not too long ago about the top fight when they were pushing into your top fort. You got down to about 50%, but like I just got this feeling that you were okay with it. Like you got down to about 50% health, and I saw you turn around with the counter strike, and I'm like, in my mind I was thinking he's gonna do that. Like he's fine.
He doesn't care.
So yeah, he doesn't care. I just had this feeling. Was that true, or am I making things up in my head?
Not entirely. I mean, a little bit of Alarak rubs off on you when you play him enough. So you got to be a little willing to just know that you can trump.
I do know that one of those last kills, you kind of caught someone. I call them the little Kylo Ren spikes on the Discord strike. You hit someone with the Kylo Ren spikes, and I was like, oh, that was a lucky kill there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that it was all planned front to back. I mean, it was just 2 good games. It was 2 good games with a matching of 2 teams, and it feels good to have the combination of just players. I mean, honestly.
Yeah, really, really well said. Great start to the season for ReGen Phoenix. Great start tonight with that 2-0 domination. But Mudge, before we let you go, I want to give you an opportunity for some shout-outs. So, my man, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, shout-outs to, obviously my team, the people that I played beside. You can't really play Alarak without him. He's the greediest dude, and everybody kind of threw their life away in that first game to give me that 7-0. Otherwise, I wouldn't have made it. Other than that, I don't know. Shout-out to Mudlord, I suppose. He's always a good dude to be playing with, and shout out to Into the Nexus as well. I listen to that stuff, and it's a great podcast.
Awesome. Yeah, ITN, shout out to you guys, keeping it going strong. Mudge, a pleasure getting to cast you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview, and best of luck moving through the rest of the season.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Alrighty. Alright, so Rec, first match of the season for both of us.
Yeah.
Are we going to see more Repsychic throughout Season 7? That's what the people at home want to know.
No. Oh, my kidding. Of course you are. Whether you want to or not.
Oh my God, savage. Well, go ahead and let these people know where they can find you. I know there's a good start right there below your name right now, at Repsychic on Twitter. Anywhere else you want to send them?
Yeah, Repsychic on Twitter. You can check out my Twitch page. I've commented on this VOD or whatever it is now, this video. Also Repsychic. I'm on Xbox. I'm on everything. It's just Repsychic. Just search that. Google search it. I don't care.
If you play Stardew Valley on Steam. Add Recyclic on Steam.
That's literally where you'll find me. That is where I physically live.
He's got to go like pick some crops after this, right?
Yeah, I gotta go real quick. I think my beets are.
You gotta water them too.
Yeah, we better get going.
All right, guys at home, you can find me over on Twitter at MurdaRG, of course, here on Twitch at MurdaRG, and over on YouTube, search for MurdaRG. If you're on any of those, make sure you hit the follow buttons. It really helps. If you want to say thank you, I don't need your money. I just need your follows. I hope to see you guys on Thursday, where I'll be over on the main NGS Twitch page, twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series, bringing you the Thursday night showdown with my good friend Ghost Dunk, who was here earlier. Don't know if he's still out there, but if he is, say hi to Ghost Dunk, and come say hi to both of us on Thursday. Hope to see you there. I believe it's a 9:30 kickoff. Either way, keep an eye on the calendar, nexusgamingseries.org. Shout out to everyone who's here tonight. Thank you for the subs, Recyclic, Arrow, Slexia, and Ghost Dunk, the bits from Slexia. The follow from eDay15. You guys are amazing. Have a fantastic Wednesday. And until next time,